Hey guys, Marissa at kitchentablestamper.com. Today I've got a really cute gift bag for you. It is video number 3 in our Santa's Workshop series, and this bag fits this fun little tissue pocket. So if you're getting the Santa's Workshop, and there's just very limited, in fact, we're very close at the filming of this video, sold out of these kits because of the treats. I have a limited supply. So I got the cute little bear tissues. We decorated it for our little treat bag, and the cute little treat bag holds a ton. You can fit 2 Stampin' Up ink pads in there, and they're shorter than the Stampin' Up ink pad, so that's a good way to see what size this bag is. It's a nice bag. It'll be great to have in your repertoire for any season. Cute for birthday gifts, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Christmas, Halloween, filled with treats for the kids. All right, so if you get the Santa's Workshop, you might get the little polar bear. We also have a fun little elf, and we decorated this one with the tree from Spruced Up and candy cane. Or you might get a Santa, and let me show you that Santa, but the treat fits right in the bag with the tissue. And this is our Santa. Isn't that cute? I gotta show you his face. The little band comes out, the tissue packet opens like this, and there's little facial tissues in there like Kleenex. So that's the treat. We added a little ornament to Santa's hat, and we don't do the stamping for you. If you get the Santa's Workshop kit, you'll have to do that. And I got these at the dollar spot at Target, but I got them on clearance, so I don't know if you'll be able to find them this year. All right, so this is our bag. That's our treat. Let's get started with our gift bag. I think you're gonna love this one, and you're gonna use it again and again. This is basic black cardstock, and it is 7 3/4 by 11. I'm going to pop it into the Simply Scored tool on the 11-inch side. There we go. And we're going to score at 1/2, 1 3/4, 5 3/4, 7. Okay, and then we're going to rotate, and we're going to score at 1 1/4 and 7. Now we'll work those scores with the bone folder and trim it according to the template. The template picture will be in the printable project sheet along with adhesive placement photos too, so you'll know exactly where to trim and add adhesive and assemble this little gift bag. There's our bag. You want to take the glue tab, which is this 1/2 inch long skinny tab, and we're going to cut out the rectangle above and below. And I'm just going to cut off the score line, a little bit of an angle. Then I'm going to cut off the score line again with a bit of an angle. Same thing here. Now that we have cleaned up our glue tab, let's liberate the tabs on the top and the bottom of our box. And I'll just take out a little bit, clean out some of the bulk where these score lines are. Stop at the intersecting score line. There it is. That's the top, and that'll hold our ribbon handles and reinforce the top of the bag. Now the bottom of the bag, same thing. I like to cut a little bit more of an angle on the little tabs that are going in, a little straighter on the tabs that are going out. Now we're going to need some holes at the top of the bag for our ribbon handles. I'm going to take a ruler, and these panels, the front and the back panel of the bag, are 4 inches. So I'm going to lay the ruler on one score line, and the 4 inches is going to be on the other score line. I'm going to put that right up against the top score line, and I'm going to mark 3/4 and 3/4 from the other side. So 3/4 from 4 inches is 3 1/4, and then I'm going to do that exact same thing on the other 4 inch, the back panel of the box. So 3/4 and 3 1/4. Now we're going to punch the holes that we just marked with a 1/8 inch hole punch right on the fold. That way your handles line up in the front and the back. They're nice and even. And there's your bag. Now, on the outside of the bag, we're going to run our tear and tape adhesive down the glue tab. On the inside of the bag, we're going to run tear and tape adhesive underneath the holes along the folds. And then you can do break and along the side of the bag. And this just makes, there's no sticky adhesive in the corners that's not covered when you fold in the reinforcers. The corners fold a lot smoother if you do adhesive break, and so on. Now we're going to lift up the liner from each end and expose that little hole. We're going to run the ribbon handles through now. I've got 10 inches of black and white gingham ribbon. We're going to go from the outside of the box to the inside of the box. So just thread through and then make sure your ribbon's nice and flat. No twists. Where we lifted up the liner, go ahead and burnish. Use the end of your bone folder. Sometimes I use the cap of my take your pick tool, but burnish that ribbon into the adhesive. And then you want to take it nice and flat, put it back in from the front side again. On the other end, just pull enough to get a grab on that adhesive. Burnish the ribbon into the adhesive and repeat with your second set of handles. All right, so we've thread in from the outside. Now's the time to really make sure that your handles are nice and straight, that there's no twists that you don't want there before you adhere down the second side. But once you do adhere it down, you really want to use some sort of an instrument. Here's the take your pick tool. You can just use the cap there, but really work that ribbon into the adhesive. All right, so I'm going to take pictures of this so you can see where the adhesive is, right? Because we're going to do, to close our bag, that's the back of the bag, right? So what we do at kitchen table stampers, we fold in from the sides, and then we do back to front and then front to back. So then the seams run down the back of the box on the side and on the bottom. You want to put your adhesive on the inside on this long tab, which is the first one from the glue tab. See, we got our glue tab, we've got a short tab and a long tab. So that's the adhesive inside the box. And this is the adhesive outside the box. We can remove the long liner and fold up our box. I like to take this where the score line is here to where the score line is here and match those up. So I'll do that bottom corner, especially on a longer box like this, and I'll just kind of let it grab. And then I'll move this score line up to this score line until it lines up. And then I'll just carefully work in between those 2 points, making sure that the back of my bag doesn't extend past the fold. Once I got that, you can flatten out and burnish the adhesive. And bottom of the box, tabs in, and front to back. And then we can burnish that adhesive with the bone folder reaching into our bag. Make sure that grabs. Now to really reinforce and stick these handles down, we're going to remove the liner from the inside of the bag, and then we're going to add some adhesive on the tab. What this is going to do is it's going to sandwich. You're going to have the ribbon stuck to the bag with tear and tape, and then you're going to have the reinforced edge. Stick that down to the ribbon nice and tight using your bone folder, or maybe even the top of your take your pick tool again, to just really make sure, use something to really make sure that that ribbon is secure. You want this to hold the weight that this bag could handle in volume, all right? And again, we're gonna remove the liner, add a strip to the long tab, remove the liner, fold up, and really secure. Now the sides of the bag, you don't have to add more adhesive. There's nothing that we're reinforcing there, but what you can do for an extra strong top rim and edge, got the adhesive right up against the folds here. If you put the adhesive against the edge here, what you're going to get is almost a continuous coverage of adhesive. It's going to be harder for things to get caught along that inside edge when you're taking them in and out of the bag, and it's going to add an extra little layer of reinforcement to that top edge of your bag. So we can now just fold that in and do the same thing on this side. And there it is, the best little bag for any occasion. And actually, it's not really a little bag, it's kind of a large bag, and it'll be great for all kinds of gift-giving occasions. Let's decorate it. And the first thing we're gonna do is add some texture to the front of the bag. And the easiest way to do that, layer of basic black cardstock. This is 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. And we're gonna add some texture to it with this whimsical forest, whimsical trees, whimsical forest. It's a new 3D embossing folder from Stampin' Up. It's in the holiday catalog, and it is one of my favorites. Be prepared to see it a lot this holiday season. We're using it in the coordinating Spruced Up Stamp-A-Stack Christmas card. It's going to be a mega Stamp-A-Stack. Get your Christmas cards done. And we're also using it in our Sweet Gingerbread Stamp-A-Stack. It's not just a favorite folder right now. It's one of my favorite that Stampin' Up has done in the whole time I've been shopping Stampin' Up or been a demonstrator. I just love the different sizes and shapes and decorations on the trees. I love the embossed side. The debossed side has a different look. It's just a cool embossing folder. So we're going to add some texture and then glue it to the front of the box. Make sure that you find the seam. We don't want to glue it to the back of the box. I lined it up so good I can't find my seam. Okay, there's my seam. And liquid glue, or you could use some seal here if you like that. We'll just center it so it has a small smooth frame. We can start building the layers. I'll bring my sample right in here. I've cut this from basic white ahead of time. It is the second largest scalloped rectangle from Scallop Contours. It's the one with the piercing around the edges. And I've got designer series paper from the Celebrate Everything host exclusive paper. You're going to get these pieces in your Santa's Workshop make and take packet, and we're featuring this paper in our Spruced Up Mega Stamp-A-Stack. It's a really cool exclusive gift for hostesses or hosts, anybody who does a workshop order. You can get it for free, but you can't buy it. And these are 2 3/4 by 2, and then 3/4 by 3 1/2, 2 3/4 by 1 1/2, and 4 1/8 by 1/2. Don't worry, those measurements will be on the project sheet. And you can line them up and cover the piercing if you want to. Then you put this one, then you can put these guys straight across if you wanted to. But I'm not a straight across kind of girl. I like to give them a little tilt as I go. So your choice how you put it together. That's not fun if it's not a little tippy. And then you can see the pierced edge kind of emerge here and there, which I think is a fun little textural element. So we'll add the bigger pieces and then the smaller. Don't go all the way to the edge with your adhesive. These narrow pieces are longer than your rectangle, your scalloped rectangle. I love all the different colors and textures, patterns. Now we can add that to the front of our bag. I'm going to use some black Stampin' Dimensionals. If you haven't used these, take a look. They come in a combo pack. You get the regular size Stampin' Dimensional and the minis all in one convenient pack. And they're not just for Halloween, although Halloween is coming, but anytime you've got predominantly black, it's kind of nice to have the black Stampin' Dimensionals. We'll pop that right on the center of the bag. See, now this one I got level, the frame. I like that one level. Let's put it aside and we're going to do some stamping. I'm going to start with basic black scraps. And we're using the Spruced Up Bundle. Spruced Up is a photopolymer stamp set. So I've got my Stampin' Pierce mat. We're going to emboss the Merry Christmas sentiment. So we'll use Versamark ink. And we're going to swipe our black cardstock with an embossing buddy. That'll just take any oils from your fingers and blot them out. It will cut the static on the cardstock and you'll have less stray embossing powder. You just need a scrap. We're going to stamp Merry and Christmas. It doesn't have to be on there perfectly because we're going to cut it out ransom note style after we emboss it. Got my embossing powder. I always keep my embossing powder in a little tub like this. Just pour the jar right in because then the embossing powder never leaves this container to make a big mess unless it's stuck on the stamped image that we want to emboss. So I'll just tap off the excess, push it all right back into the container. Then put the lid back on. No mess. I love it. Really makes an improvement for embossing if you're not impressed with the mess, but you do like the results. Now we're going to heat that with a heat tool and we're going to use a handle. This heat tool is hot. It's industrial heat. These heat tools were originally used to remove paint. So protect your surface and protect your fingers. All right, even after 20-something years, I still find it pretty delightful when it goes from chalky white to glossy white. I'm gonna leave it there to cool for just a second and bring back my Stampin' Pierce mat and some ink pads. I'm gonna do some more stamping with the Spruced Up Bundle. Got some basic white cardstock and Shaded Spruce, Poppy Parade, Granny Apple Green. And we're going to do one of our trees, the taller one in this case. And it's Shaded Spruce. Make sure you get good ink coverage. We want a nice solid tree. That's the beauty of this Spruced Up stamp set, especially with Christmas coming and Christmas cards. It's really nice to just ink, stamp, die cut. There's no fussy cutting, there's no coloring. It's gonna make the designs, these little gift bags, the Stamp-A-Stack cards that we're gonna have for you in a couple weeks, just really go very quickly. You'll be able to make your cards in a flash and they're gonna have a bold, happy, fun look to them. Do the candy cane with Poppy Parade and clear away the ink pads and get the stamp and cut emboss machine, cut them out. All right, so our Spruced Up bundle includes dies that will cut out the stamped images, but also some fun little accents. So we got a scribbly star here, and a couple of little bubbly stars. I've also got this 3 hearts, and this 3 hearts is from the Cracker and Treat box, and we're going to cut those with Poppy Parade. Let's give those a crank. The dies are really cool. They are going to cut out our trees, and they're going to cut the coolest little outline. You're going to love this. And we're going to use both the stamped image all cut out. We're going to make one of these fun little outlines in a contrasting color. So there's your 2 pieces. And the ornaments and the trees in this die set both have this excellent feature. So we're going to keep the trees and candy cane. Look at how cute that is. Oh my goodness, I can't even stand it. We need one of the little hearts and our stars. I love this scribbly star. See, it's like a doodle. That's from our Spruced Up Bundle. And then our little bubbly hearts, perfect for the tops of our trees or to accent our ornament like we did with Santa's hat. Now we need another one of the large trees. We're going to cut that with basic black. So I've got my basic black scrap here. We're going to pop this little tree on there and give a crank. And now we've got two solid, not stamped pieces. You can use this little silhouette tree on another project. It'll look awesome, mixed and matched with other stamped trees or with contrasting outline trees or all of the above. Really a cool die set. All right, let's bring our bag back in and our treat. As you can see, there's our little star. It looks really cute decorating the ornament. The ornament is also from Spruced Up. We're going to adhere first the outline of our taller tree, and then we'll adhere the stamped ones. I'm using liquid glue, and I'm just going to squeeze very lightly and then swipe the tip of the bottle. You do not need to get every inch of space there. Just swipe a little bit, goes a very long way. And if you hate liquid glue, if it's not your thing, if you're not really good at it, it's okay. You can use the adhesive sheets with this Spruced Up Bundle and you'll love it. Now our stamped tall tree is going to go over that. I'm going to get some black dimensionals, pop on our little green tree. So cute. Bring in my sample here so you can see what I'm doing. Layer that up. I'm just going to add lots of fun layers. Our greeting, remember that? Let's ransom note style. Give it a trim. And the thing here is just wing it. It's not going to be perfect. You just want to get kind of close, kind of straight. But we call it ransom note for a reason. It's not going to be perfect. And it's still going to look cool. So there's Merry Christmas. And really, like you're doing a ransom note. I tend to get a little hung up and want it to be perfect. But for this technique, good enough is good enough. See? Still looks really cute. It's going to go over the trees. One is bumped up, one is not. So we're going to have to use both kinds of adhesive. I've got my mini dimensionals. I'm going to pop a little mini on Christmas and a little dab of liquid glue. And we'll put that little guy on 2 layers. We can add our star and tuck it underneath a little bit. Again, just rub the tip of the bottle. You don't need a lot of glue here. A little bit goes a really long way. Pop that in the corner, tuck it under a bit. Mary can get a little piece of the dimensional edge here. I'm going to put it right in the middle. I don't think it'll go over our Granny Apple Green tree, but if it does, it'll just be the corner. Yeah, see, it touches a little bit. Cute, right? A couple more little bits. I'm going to add my candy cane with liquid glue and tuck it behind my greeting. Brings that Poppy Parade color from the bottom back up to the front again. And same with the little heart. I went dimensionals on this. So again, that black with the combo pack of the little dimensionals and the regular size dimensionals. We're just going to cut some little bits. All right, all of our bits are sticky. I'm going to add the Christmas with a little heart underneath and then a little star on the top of each tree. We're almost there and it's so cute. It's actually pretty bold and bright, isn't it? Let's get our other guy in here. Just to add a little bit of sparkle. Now I've got the new iridescent pearls, and they've got a cool, I don't know, just a shine to them with iridescent. They look like bubbles, and I love the texture that they bring. Add a couple of those. I'm going to do a little triangle down here, 2 on the box, 1 kind of up in the star, and then another big one and a little one up by the tree here. Kind of get some triangle placement going on there, odd number. We got our little treat, which fits perfectly in our bag, all decorated. And if you like a little piece of tissue paper, I like the white. It really lets the stamping on the bag, the decorations, the designer series paper, be the focus. But of course, you could, if you wanted to, take that little candy cane stamp and make yourself some candy cane tissue paper. It would be adorable. Just add that in. And now your little bag is all ready for holiday gift giving needs. That's our last project in the Santa's Workshop series. If you've got any questions, you can email Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com. And to shop Stampin' Up! 24/7, buzz over to marisaalvarez.stampinup.net. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.